see now, if you see now, he's going for the wolf. Again, that's just probably the easiest jungle item to take, as the wolves are very weak and very just easy to take down. So it's usually something you really want to be able to focus on, is wolves just constantly, just picking up the wolves every chance you get. Now we're gonna speed this game right on up as we see them trying to make something happen. They're pushing rather hard here, but as we see, the game's a different length all itself, so we know they're not actually gonna be closing the game. It was a very unorthodox thing to do. It was gonna pay off. And now we see, since, there's nothing wrong with picking up the race when you're not low on health. You don't need to do that, because it's not a necessarily low health thing. It's just something that's a good option. You normally, you'll be going around just whenever they spawn, just for all that extra ability power. I mean, not extra ability power, just extra gold. Because that's really where most of your gold and leveling comes from, is killing creeps. They give a lot more, XP than just the normal creeps do. So it's a good idea to just get them whenever they come up. It's not, there's obviously a saving part to it, but it's not always about that. It's always about when you can take them. And now we see another example of the invasion here. Udyr does it very well, as he knows that the rest of the team is distracted. The other team is distracted, so we can just move in there and just take out the enemy runes. It's a very glorious technique. Just even right along. There's not much to speak of at this point, as the teams continue to be unorthodox and ridiculous. That's why I picked this game. Unorthodox and ridiculous. It's important to look at games like that so you can understand what to do in crazy situations. Because sometimes they happen. And you need to be able to know how to handle them as well and, what's the word, professionally as possible. So as to become credit to the team and not to waste the team's time. We look at more, and now we see him pick up a Wriggle's Lantern. Another fantastic jungle item, as one of your other roles as jungler can be laying down wards, and a Wriggle's Lantern is perfect for that. I'm going to actually move in on here and see what here is he can do. Flash shouldn't be immediately aggressive, but it is pretty held down, so it's a bit of a waste there. It's always a risk using a flash like that, if you don't always know if it's going to work out, especially when you're that far away and you're not sure if your team's going to commit. It's always a recognizable choice on whether or not it's a good idea to expend that flash. Was a bit of a waste there, so we did see it wasn't used incredibly well, so it's important that you always understand how that works. But as I was saying, the Wriggle's Lantern is a perfect choice as a jungler, as it lets you get extra armor, because pretty much all jungle creeps will be focused on physical damage, and that's something you want to be able to build against. And then it also lets you put down that free ward anywhere on the map. And also keeps the bonus from Majin's Razor, since you built it from it, of the extra damage to creeps, and just builds on that. Ooh, excuse me. I shouldn't have to say anything about boots for most people, as boots are a pretty obvious thing that you really want to be focusing on pretty early on. He's level 7. It's a little late on the boots, I would say, but normally you would also, again, in a more orthodox game, you would be looking at more consistent farming for money, and so your items come a little bit quicker and a little bit more efficiently. He is still jungling, so he does actually have the most easiest way of getting money from all the champions, but he still is a little behind just based on having to focus a little more on holding the lane. It's important that you be you're spatially aware of what's going on the map, so you know where it is that you need to be and what it is you need to do to protect the team and protect your tower from losing. You see they've been pushing very hard in the mid, but they haven't really been much else. They have taken out, they've all gone straight up through the mid and taken out all of that, but they've pretty much left their entire rest of the side vulnerable, so that's a risky maneuver on their own, and it can be taken out by a backdoor such as someone from Udyr. Udyr is very good at backdooring because he has all that extra attack damage and attack speed. He's very good at it. He's very, very good at it, is basically what I'm trying to say. He's not something you usually want F with. He's also really not kind of the hero you want to let get fed, because he will come and tear a team apart. It's ridiculous. Again, we see him using an aggressive flash here to flash over the wall of his camp, only to be again forced back. Again, as he realizes that the enemy team is pretty much hanging out right there, right by the jungle, it's important that you keep the buff for your side. They don't. If they go back to their side, they're gonna lose their foothold in the front of their base. So they're really gonna have to stick around there. That's something to always consider when you know the other team is right up on you. Is as long as they have to keep their position in one place or risk losing it completely, try and sneak into your jungle and take out some some buffs just for you. You are another teammate, and it'll really help you turn the game into your favor. You see Udyr doing that as he realizes the team's distracted. Jungler is very good at it, especially someone fast like Udyr. I'm going to keep speaking of his speed because it's something he's very good at. When you have someone with speed like Udyr, it's very easy to, while the enemy team is pretty much at where they are now, and pretty much the farthest spot they could be from him, you can just go and backdoor the hell out of your enemy team when they can't really do anything about it. Push up some creep so you get a big creep wave right up there. As you can see, one is building up now. A very important art is the building of the creep massacre wave, as I like to call it. The creep mob, whatever you refer to, guys. That is what it is. Okay, let's pause real quick right here and take a look at his items. I'm sorry, I thought I heard a bomb for a second. Maybe it was Zig, but I could have sworn I almost died there. We now see Udyr going for a very adaptive style build. It's not so much, he has his jungle items, but now he's going more just straight attack damage and trying to repel this non-stop enemy force attack. I hear there's that beeping again. I swear, if an explosion goes off and I die, this is my last will and testament, is that you keep it going, you keep it alive. Esports, that's all. Just esports. That's my will and testament, esports. Anyway, as he's doing a bit of a reactive build style, where he's picking up Berserker's Greaves for extra movement speed and plus the attack speed. Although you can pick it up pretty normally as a normal jungle Udyr, we see coupled with the pickaxe and longsword that he will be building into some more heavy and just straight damage items. So not so much any of the supporty items or any special items to give any extra bonuses. He's just going straight AD as he really needs to help his team repel this again non-stop aggression from the other team. So getting back into the game, we can now see that bomb explode. Maybe hopefully it'll stop ringing off in my ear. Now here we see the ultimate from Udyr going off and speed letting him chase down enemies and get those extra kills for his teammate and really repel that attack back. As I was pointing out, that's the kind of style he's going for. The extra damage we get these squishy targets, which they basically all are. This is an incredibly squishy team they have to go against. Yi, Lux, Nidalee, Ziggs, and Veigar. Someone like Udyr can really, with the coupling of Blitzbane, can really tear through them, the entire team, and maybe if played correctly, only have to worry about a couple of them. Only worry about one or two maybe dying on their team. That's really the advantage this team makeup has over them, and Udyr's taking very good amount of advantage of that. Trying, as long as he has the extra defense capabilities, he will be moving in with all the build damage items to just kind of tank a bit of that and be able to hold them off. We see them constantly, it's right there, that separately as their own, they cannot take on really any of them. And they actually try and take a dragon. I'm gonna pause real quick again and talk about the importance of taking a dragon. Dragon's a very important thing to take, as it gives gold to your entire team. And as a jungle, you should be taking that as soon as possible. You can take it as soon as level 8, even earlier if you feel so inclined. Once you have if you're going a build like Udyr, once you have your Regal's Lantern, it's you can place a ward there if you want and move on and wait to get the dragon, or you can take it right there. You could go and take the dragon as early as level 8. You can probably hit that at about 10 minutes in, maybe even before, probably before. If you're going a clever build and having to get a kill or two or decent assists. And control of dragon is so important as Udyr or as any jungler, because you're really that one moving around. It's also responsibility up top and mid lane, but focus on the jungle. They have the responsibility to, I'm sorry, I said top and the bot. The responsibility to basically go in and take the dragon, because they're the ones that are most proficient at doing it, soloing a dragon, especially at low levels. You can very easily, again, solo a dragon at level 8 as a jungle, like Udyr, or someone like Rengar could do it. Trundle is very capable of doing it. So just a thing to keep in mind, grab dragons as early as possible as soon as it spawns, and then what I like to do is, if I ever jungle, I like to write down what time it is when I kill the dragon, so I know how much time I have until it respawns. I know what moment it will respawn, so I know when I can go back, alert my team if I find necessary to go and take an extra dragon. And that is super helpful, is to control the dragon. As I will probably repeat a number of times throughout this. Control the dragon, control basically the flow of the game from that point on. Still speeding along, we really have to see what's going on. And as a general, you're not going to have the most money, as you probably, it's just not really going to happen, but you will have a good amount of income coming in for you. Oh, excuse me, I yawned. And there we see the flash being used, defensively as an escape mechanism, as he grabbed the elderly. He was confronted by an team. I can't take them all, so I don't want to get caught like that. And again, we see the slows from their team. It's very crowd control team, and they're taking great advantage of it, especially Udyr with his stun. And it's just a fantastic way to see him play. It's really taking advantage of his crowd control. When you have crowd control, it's very important that you use it, because it will just come in so handy.
Rampage.
And now we see basically blue team paying for their extra aggression at the end, as they are now being pretty dominated pretty hard, as the rest of the team is farther ahead than all of them. Yeah, they are all at least above level 10. They only have one person who is level 10, and so it's very bad for them. And at this point, this team can really just go through and clean them up here. We do see Ryze go down, but he's taken down by Udyr, who basically the team cannot hurt at this point. They are not a threat to them. One at a time, or even possibly two at a time. He could probably go through that pretty easily with his own powerful abilities. We do see him now picking up his BF sword plus his cloak of agility. We'll be getting that Affinity Edge out soon. Affinity Edge is a very good item for Udyr, as any champion you're going to be building attack speed, it's basically a must-have. Any Ashe, any Yi, they're basically not complete without Infinity Edge, because all that critical damage they were doing just be up so much. There's really no reason not to. Also no reason not to get Dragon Rat there when they had a perfect opportunity to. All that extra gold is just fantastic. And we do see now he has picked up his Udyr has picked up his Infinity Edge, along with a Vampiric Scepter, as Lifesteal is pretty much the icing on the cake for any jungle hero, as it allows for all that extra lasting power, all that extra power against champions when you're going solo on against them, or even in a group fight. It allows you to just continually keep going in, especially if you combine it with a blue buff or some mana regen items. You're basically not being taken out anytime soon. As you see, he is just tearing them to shreds right there. He would just carve through minion waves very simply, very easily. Not really any problems for him there. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would you show us such an unorthodox game? What would be the point of that? Why wouldn't you show us a normal game where you can see how it is normally meant to be played? I show it to you because this team reacted very well to what was happening. It was a very poorly executed all mid strategy to begin with. I think they tried to enact an ARAM, and it didn't really work out. So And again, the point I showed you is how you can react.